to recap quickly on day one's activities, we left Raymond Terrace, which is where I live. We arrived at Kempsey, where we refueled, complained about the exorbitant prices of petrol. Left Kempsey, did some exploration out in the national parks out the west of Kempsey, and eventually worked our way to our campsite for the night, Daisy Plains, which is where this day starts.
Had a bit of a wet day late yesterday afternoon. She rained most of the night. Got up to take a whiz at like 4 o'clock this morning. Stars were out, it was beautiful. Woke up this morning, there's a little bit of fog around, but that should burn off. Should have a nice blue sky. Hopefully we'll be in play when we wake up next destination. Starting to pack up. Benny's glamping up here. Let's go suss out Chewy. Oh, well done, Benny. We went bacon eggs this morning, pal.
Coffee?
Yeah, I don't drink that stuff, but everyone's got their fancy coffee. Looking good. Tuck into that, and then we'll hit Mary's View, eh?
Sounds like a plan. I
think so.
The goal.
That's the end goal here. Right, so we found a boggy patch. I went first and we come up this way here, but my rear tyres just hit here. There's a big chunky rock. Oh no, here it was. Big chunky rock, and it's just slid me straight there and down to this hole. Sank me up to my door height. And then unfortunately, my front wheel, which was here, couldn't get up over this steep step into the firm stuff. So no matter what I did, it didn't work. So we just winched her out and away we went. Now we're going to watch Belly have a go. So he doesn't have any front recovery points. So we're going to send him in first, because Benny behind him can pull him out if he gets stuck. But he's going to try and stick a bit closer to the grass over here, a bit more up here to try and avoid that stuff. To be further up there. Take it. Yeah. Jesus, Billy, gunned it. Yeah, so keep going as far as you can. Yeah. Now turn. Yep. And just putt. Take it easy and just putt through. Yep. Yeah, you got this, Ben. Keep staying that way. Yep, come. Just very slowly. Yep, you're through. Perfect. Perfect. That's what we should have done.
Hey, the expert.
Yeah. Well, we finally made it to the car park at Mary's View. Interesting little trip to get here. It was fun, but we're here. It's a 100-metre walk according to the sign up there behind Billy's car. Take us around there. Everyone's doing some quick checks on stuff. 100 metres, that's where we're heading. Right, so I'm out here at Mary's View.
I'm on the way. Where do you want me?
No, you can go wherever you like, fellas. Out here at Mary's View. Now, just for a bit of reference, if you see where my finger is, you imagine going down the back of that mountain there, go up and over there, cross that ridge and down the back of that mountain. So where this sort of mountain here runs down, the Macleay River works its way around the back of that mountain to there. And that's where West Kundarang is. That's where I went camping back at New Year's. It's only about 5k, 5 or 6k the way the crow flies, but it'll take us about 2.5 hours to actually drive there. And then way down here, this is East Kundarang, which was another former cattle station. It's now part of the national park, and you can actually hire that place out and stay there. It's supposed to be really, really nice. But this is, whether you like it or not, one of the most spectacular lookouts in New South Wales. Get a look at that, peoples. It's well worth the journey. In my opinion, anyway. What do we think of that, fellas, yeah? And you get mobile phone reception here, as you can tell.
Beautiful.
Because everyone's got their mobile phones out and ringing their missuses and telling them where they are.
The whole point of this trip was to get to Mary's View. What can I say? Blown away by its beauty. Absolutely spectacular. One of, if not the most spectacular lookouts in the country. I think it's fair to say that everyone needs to put this on their bucket list. It's a destination that everyone needs to visit, and everyone will be amazed.
Slip down to that hole down there. Oh. Alright, come on, that's the way.
Thanks, gents. I felt a bit more comfortable tackling that first. Look at the trees behind you, Bill.
So we're at the intersection of Coachwood and Carrai Road, a little town that used to exist here called Kookaburra. There used to be some old buildings here, including a school, but alas, they burnt down the fire of 2020-21, and there's an example of that. You might not be able to see the blackness, but those palm trees there they're black as. This whole area's burnt down. But to National Park State Forest credit, they've built these new facilities. This will eventually have that information board that you can see down there. Will eventually go on here. We'll head down there shortly, but they've put in a fireplace. No doubt you could camp here. They got toilets over there at the back there. They got a little bit of shelter here. They'll probably have a picnic table and that put on eventually. There's not much left of the town itself. It was all burnt down in those fires too. So there is something over here. I don't know what the hell it is, but we'll go and have a look. Just for something different. There's another toilet block over there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is destined to become a proper camping spot, I would imagine. They're tidying it up, they're making it neat, they put this new infrastructure in. Give it time, I think this will be a spot you can come camping.
Once we left Kookaburra, we were on the Coachwood Trail, and I must admit the Coachwood Trail is not as well driven, not as well maintained as what the Carrai Road section of the four-wheel drive trip is. Made for some interesting driving, that's for sure.
At this place called Loppies Lookout. It's a little bit breezy, and we had to walk off the main road a bit, about 300 metres. So I brought my drone, but forgot to bring my controller, didn't I? What an idiot. So basically it's this rocky outcrop here on the edge of a cliff. So if you sort of look over there, it's something like that, but with no trees on it. And looks down this valley. And Billy's found a waterfall down there. I'll go and check it out in a minute. There's that cool mountain over there. Don't know what the hell that is, but that looks friggin' awesome sticking up out of the place. But all you can see, mountains, mountains, more mountains. So I think where we were this morning at Mary's View, I think that's Mary's View, right out over there, way out over there. Hopefully the video refocuses itself, doesn't look like it's going to. There we go. Pretty spectacular. Flip this around, get a picture of myself. We've come down a little bit further. That's where we were standing up there. We've come down here. Now, I don't know how well you see, but way down there is a waterfall somewhere down there. There's another little rocky outcrop there, but it's a straight drop straight off there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Bit of a waterfall off in the distance. That looks pretty cool. It's probably 500 metres away. It's nice. So we can zoom on out a little bit. That's at 6 times zoom, and then we just bring it back to normal. This one's not as deep, straight through it. Oh, it's lovely. We'll have some lunch here, I think.
There's a rubbish pit back there if you want to ditch your garbage bag, Ellie.
Yes, we will.
Roger.
To recap our day so far, we started at camp, went out to Mary's View. From Mary's View, we travelled back over to a place called Kookaburra, which is an old timber cutting town. We weren't there for long, but we cruised from there over to Loppies Lookout. And then from Loppies Lookout, we cruised along a racecourse road, which took us to the Brushy Mountain campsite, where we had a feed and some lunch. And then from here, we realised we were running out of time, so we did a bolt to Warhope, where Benny left us. He was heading home, and that was just Billy and I left to finish the camping trip. After we got to Warhope, we said goodbye to Benny and Chewy the Troopy. They had to go home. Billy and I were then going to head out to the Bago Bluff and have a camp for the night. Unfortunately, that didn't go to plan. We found ourselves on a track that we should not have been on. And it took us well into the night to get out of there. So once we were out of that track, we just headed off to Kendall and stayed at the showground. That's where we stayed for the night.